So in this class, we are talking in continuation about the oscillations. Oscillations we have discussed with you, like that is to and fro motion about the mean position. Like if you talked about the simple pendulum, so you make the bob to oscillate to and fro. So that to and fro motion, which is repeating itself after regular intervals of time, that is your termed as oscillation. And if this periodic motion can be represented in the form of sine curve or in terms of cosine curve, then it becomes harmonic motion. So harmonic motion is simply a periodic motion which can be expressed in the form of sine or cosine curve. Now this harmonic motion becomes a simple harmonic motion if the restoring force which is acting on the particle is acting towards the mean position. It means opposite to the displacement. You are displacing the body this direction. Like if you are taking a metallic bob with you, tied with a rigid support, simple pendulum arrangement, and when you are making the bob to go on the right hand side, then restoring force acts on the opposite side. Displacement is along right hand side, but the restoring force is acting opposite to that displacement. So this motion, if I can write in terms of sine or cosine, and the force is acting like this, then I may call it as the simple harmonic motion. So if this is the restoring force, which is equals to k minus of kx, minus sign is simply showing that the direction of force is opposite to the displacement. Now by second law, you know F it is equals to m into a. I am simply talking about the magnitudes here. So I am not putting the vector sign, so that you can write even that the magnitude of the force. And Newton's second law, m into acceleration, and acceleration can be written in terms of displacement, that is d2x by dt square. So we are simply willing to write the equation for simple harmonic motion by comparing these two forces from the first equation, which is by the definition of SHM, and the second is which is from the Newton's second law. So when you compare, I get that your m d2x by dt square, it is equals to minus kx, or I can write d2x by dt square, it is equals to minus k upon m into x. So of course k, you know, it is a spring constant or force constant, and m, small m, that is the mass of the metallic bob which we have taken, or mass of the particle which is having the oscillatory motion. So when a body is made to oscillate, so that is giving you the angular velocity omega. So if I assume this value k upon m, that is equals to omega square, then I can write this equation as d2x by dt square plus omega square x, that is equals to 0. And this omega will give you the value of the time period, because you know omega is years 2 pi by t also. So from here you can find the equation for the time period of the oscillation. And of course omega is angular velocity or angular frequency, you may call it, that is given by 2 pi by t or 2 pi nu. So if for simple harmonic motion you have to find the time period or frequency, you can find from here. So because it is 2 pi nu, so nu will be equals to what? Years, because omega it will be equals to square root of k upon m. So you can write nu, it is equals to 1 upon 2 pi square root of k upon m, where k is the spring factor and m is the mass factor of the time period of oscillation also, which will be equals to 2 pi square root m upon k. So these values of the frequency and time period, you can keep it in your mind, very important for solving the questions. And another way which we have to learn with you is that I can write this equation in terms of the phase or initial phase. So for time period, this is the expression with you, that is 2 pi square root inertia factor divided by spring factor. And how I'm able to write this equation, that I'm just going to continue. That if I want to write the displacement in terms of cos or sine terms, how is it possible for me? So for that, of course, few definitions just to keep in mind, that is simply a revision type with you, that what is harmonic oscillator. So if a particle is executing simple harmonic motion, that particle we will be calling it as the harmonic oscillator. What is displacement? Like I can take the spring also, or I can take it, put it in a horizontal way or vertical way, or I can take a simple pendulum in my mind, because both these experiments you have done and they are specially mentioned in your syllabus as well. So I'm making the body to oscillate. So when I'm making this mass bob of mass m to oscillate, then this bob is termed as harmonic oscillator. And if I'm talking about its displacement at any instant of time along x-axis, because if I'm taking, so I will write that displacement as x. And if I talk about the maximum displacement from the mean position to the extreme position, that is your amplitude. So displacement, if I'm taking on the x-axis, I can write it as x, or I can, if I'm talking about this spring, I make it oscillate by simply bringing it down, it will go up. So it will oscillate like this, coming up and then coming to mean position, then going up this way. So this way it will oscillate up and down. So displacement, I may write it as y. Or I may use a symbol xi in some numericals. If you come across this symbol, extended E types, simply like this, that is known as xi. So that is also a symbol for the displacement, which is the, when I'm at any instant of time, if I see the position of the particle from the mean position, that difference will give you the displacement. Amplitude, I may write it as capital A, which is equals to maximum displacement. So this is maximum displacement, that is known as amplitude. What is cycle? That is the complete cycle from the mean to extreme, then to mean, then to other extreme, then to mean. So this is one complete cycle. And what is the time taken to complete this cycle? That is known as time period, which is denoted by capital T. Of course, measured in the seconds. Frequency, which is reciprocal of time period, that is measured in hertz. So you should be knowing the units also, like for displacement it is x, centimeter, meter we can take. Angular frequency, which I have just discussed with you, that is 2 pi nu or 2 pi by t. The new term with you is, that is phase. This I have to learn, means you have to learn this term phase. Next term with you is, which is denoted by phi, which is simply telling you about the vibrating state of a particle. If I take a particle, like I am taking a mass suspended with a spring, I am making it oscillate up and down. Or I am taking the bob, I am making it oscillate about the mean position along the x-axis. Similarly, horizontal spring can be made to oscillate along the x-axis. So what is the vibrating state of a particle at any instant of time? That if I'm representing by sine curve, then at this point, if I see the particle is here, at this point it is there, so they are just out of phase. But if I continue with the motion and here I take the particle A point, here I take here B point, they are in the same state of vibration, you can say, that it is also about to come down, it is also about to come down. But here if I take C particle, then A and C, they are out of phase. So whether the particles are in the same phase or they are out of phase, same phase, it means there is no angle difference, I can say, or the angle difference is of 2 pi, and here the angle difference, phase out of phase mean phase difference is of pi angle. So you have to take the, like I have taken this as the y, which is equals to sine theta with theta. So here if theta is 0, theta is years 90. Time period here it becomes capital T. So this is T by 4 time. This is, sorry, here it is T by 4, here it is T by 2, then 3T by 4. So you can, here the time is T. And in terms of theta also you can write, here it is 180, here it is 90 degree. So when the particle is moving, how angle is getting changed, at what time it is getting changed, the whole thing I can represent it graphically, and then I can write the equation. This equation I will be just explaining you again further to make you think more clear. Like another definition with you is initial phase. Initially, if the particle is not at the 0 position, it is somewhere else. So that is at a given time when you start noting the position of the particle, t equals to 0. Where the particle is, what is the vibrating phase of the particle, that gives its initial phase, which is known as epoch and is denoted by phi naught. So phi is a symbol of phase. This phi is symbol of phase, while phi naught is a symbol of epoch or the initial phase. These two symbols, how I am able to write in this form of curve, that also I am just going to explain you further to make the things more clear with you. And for that we are taking the help of uniform circular motion. So this is also very important topic with you, and that will clear your concept of phase and initial phase also. So when if I am having a particle P here moving in the form, in the circular path, uniform circular motion. So that is actually a way to represent the simple harmonic motion. And simple harmonic motion is what? If the force is directly proportional to the displacement with minus sign, or I can say acceleration is directly proportional to minus x, and I can represent it in the form of sine or cosine curve. So I may take either the sine curve or I may take the cosine curve. So all these conditions if satisfied, that is my simple harmonic motion. Now what I have to learn is how this uniform circular motion is related with the simple harmonic motion. So question is clear. So we are going with the discussion of the answer. So what we are supposing is, here a particle we have taken, P particle, which is moving along the circular path. So at any instant of time t, I'm taking the particle is here at P. It may start from here and complete the one path here. Then you can see what will be the phase difference. Phase difference, if I'm starting from A coming back to A, then what is the angle turned here at the center of the circle? That is 2 pi. So it means once it is completing one circular path, the phase or the angle it moved is 2 pi. This is clear with you at the center. Now if I am taking the particle here at t time and I draw the projection on the x-axis, this is ON, here at center if I call it as O, then this x, how can I write in terms of cos theta? Theta is what? Because omega is theta upon t. So theta I can write it as omega t. And if you write from here the value of cos theta, From this, you see, you write cos theta, it is equals to x upon a. A here, of course, I have taken as the amplitude. It means this distance OP, or here I may give it some other name. Okay, let me call it as Q. So OP or OQ, that is equals to your maximum displacement, that is amplitude. So theta, that is given by x upon OP, and OP, it is equals to amplitude. So from here you can write that x can be written as a cos theta, or you can write it as a cos omega t. Now if I take the projection on the y-axis, then y is the displacement at the given time. Then I can write the value of sine theta. Sine theta will be equals to yours y. If you want to write the sine theta, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, it means y upon OP. So y, you can write it as a sine theta or a sine omega t. So when I want to see how it is SHM, of course this you have seen that displacement at any time I can write either in terms of cos or in terms of sine. If on x-axis cos omega t, if on y-axis sine omega t. If I'm making the particle to move from Q point to P, you see how the projection is moving. Projection is moving from O to this point, then to this point. You may name it as, say some name D. Here I may say D dash. So if I'm making the particle to move here, the projection is moving like this. It means when I'm moving from Q to D dash, my projection is moving from O to D dash. Then if I complete the circle, I come here, how the projection is moving? Projection is moving on this line. If I'm here, projection is falling at O point. If I'm here, projection is falling on this point. I may call it as D double dash. So when I'm completing the circular path, then the projections you can see they are moving from O to D dash, then back D dash to O, then O to E. When you move from E to Q, the projections they move along E to O. So it is simply like completing one cycle, O to D dash, back to O, then to E, then back to O. So when the particle is completing one circular path on the uniform circle of course, then here the projections are moving about the O position, O taken as mean, that is going to extreme D dash, coming back to O, then going to E, then coming back to O. So this is completing, like here every time the force is acting opposite to the displacement, so it is representing the SHM. So this point is to be noted that uniform circular motion is representing SHM. So the equation which I am getting with the uniform circular motion, that is representing your simple harmonic motion. Now what about the initial phase? Phase and initial phase if I am talking. So here if the particle is not starting from this Q point, rather it is starting at t equals to 0, it is at Q point is here. So then it is moving to P point at t equals to t. Earlier what was here? Q point, it was here. So initially there was no angle. So initial phase was 0. Here it is making some angles, say phi naught, with this baseline reference line mine. Then this angle is written as phi naught. Now particle is moving. Just compare the things, bache. Here it was initially t equals to 0 and here it was t equals to t. So here when it is, now it is moving from Q to P in time small t. then the angle turned theta, that is equals to omega t. So now if I want to write the projection on the x-axis, I will be again drawing, because projection is giving me SHM. That one thing you have noted. Projection on the x-axis, if I draw, then it will be making the oscillation like O to this extreme, then back to O, then to other extreme, then back to O. If projection I have made on y-axis, then accordingly I have discussed. So here this projection, if I'm taking x, so then if you write cos omega t plus phi, it is now making with the reference line phi naught, that is equals to years ON divided by OP. So ON is x and OP is amplitude, capital A. So you can write x equals to A cos omega t plus phi naught. So if initial phase is 0, I was getting the equation x equals to A cos omega t. And if initial phase is there on the positive side, I am getting it with the plus phi naught. But if from the below side of the reference line, like at t equals to 0, here it is at some point B, if I suppose. And then in t time, it is reaching up to point P, moving with the angular velocity omega. Then this angle now will be equals to omega t, total angle from this point, from the OB line. It means angle years POB, angle POB, it is equals to omega t. But if I take the projection on the x-axis, I am taking ON, then you can again write the value of x here, years, that will be equals to, you can take the projection ON, that is equals to what? ON, that is divided by years OP, which is equals to years this value, cos omega t minus phi naught. Because when you have to look for the angle here, so you have to take the angle above the reference line. So this angle yours will be given by the angle theta, you may say, and then theta it is equals to omega t minus phi naught. So from here you can write the equation for x-axis. Similarly, if you want to write for y, so y also can be written as A sine omega t minus phi naught. So if you want to write the projection on the x-axis, it will be written in terms of x. If you are writing the projection on y-axis, it will be written in terms of y. Both are correct, representing the simple harmonic motion. So this is very important. Initial phase, that is to be seen where the particle is at time equals to 0. So once you are able to write the equation for SHM, then of course we can find the velocity and acceleration also. This is a simple question I have taken, like we have discussed in the previous class also, from the Fourier theorem, that if I have the displacement x, which is written as A sine omega t plus B cos omega t, then it is representing the simple harmonic motion. So for that you can find the derivative, that is of course giving you the velocity, that is given by dx by dt, derivative of x with respect to time. So that can be written as A cos omega t into omega plus B, derivative of cos omega t is minus of sine omega t, into derivative of omega t is omega. So if I want to find the acceleration, that is dv by dt, or I can write d2x by dt square. So I'm getting here derivative of cos omega t is minus sine omega t into derivative of omega. It means here 1 omega is already there. So I'm getting minus of omega square a sine omega t minus omega square b cos omega t. So I can rewrite this equation simply by taking minus omega square out, which is equals to a sine omega t plus b cos omega t. This is what the value of the displacement x. So I can prove that the acceleration is equals to minus of omega square x, or I can say the acceleration is directly proportional to negative of the displacement. So this is the condition for SHM, and from here you can relate that when I have written the equation for SHM, the equation with me was d2x by dt square plus omega square x equals to 0. So either I can write this equation or I can prove this equation if they are asking you prove that this is the equation of SHM. So you are supposed to simply prove this, that acceleration is equals to minus of displacement. Then you can directly use that. It means your omega square, it is equals to k upon m, or omega it is equals to square root of k upon m, and you can write the value of time period or frequency depending upon what is asked in the question. So if they are asking you that prove that this equation is SHM, you are supposed to prove that acceleration is negative of displacement. Here in this equation, further if I take that, if supposingly small a it is equals to a cos phi, where phi is the phase difference or the vibrating phase state of the particle, and small b I write it as a sine phi, then I can write this equation in terms of the initial phase, or you may take it as the initial phase phi naught, and then the thing will be more clear with you. So I can write it as a cos phi naught sine omega t plus a sine phi naught cos omega t, and you can write the value of the displacement x in terms of initial phase, that is a sine omega t plus or minus phi naught depending upon what is given in the question. Here I am getting with positive sign. And of course if I square and add, I am getting a square plus b square, that is equals to capital A square. Capital A is of course the amplitude into cos square phi naught plus sine square phi naught. So I can write this equation for the initial phase also. I can get if it is there in the equation. So you can write, as I've said, equations for the velocity by simply taking the derivative. As I have written x as the displacement at a given instant and given in terms of phi naught initial phase, then velocity can be written as minus a omega sine omega t plus phi naught. So this I can write in terms of square root of 1 minus cos square theta, because you know that sine square theta plus cos square theta, it is equals to 1. That is equals to 1. So from here you can take the value that your sine theta it is equals to 1 minus cos square theta square root. So cos theta here you can see it is x upon a. So I can write it in terms of the amplitude, that velocity can be written as minus of omega square root of a square minus x square. Now if the body is at mean position, if at mean position x it is equals to 0, no displacement, then the velocity is going to have the maximum value, that is minus omega a. This is also to be noted. And if it is at extreme position, if body is either of the extreme, positive sign or negative sign is showing, because if I am on the left side or on the right side positive, left side negative, then velocity I am getting equals to 0. So there the energy will be the potential energy at the extreme position. At mean position, all the energy will be the kinetic energy. That also we will discuss in the coming lecture. Similarly, if you wish, you can write for the acceleration also. dv by dt I have already done. It is coming out to be minus omega square x. So at mean position, acceleration is 0, but at extreme position acceleration is maximum value. So this you can represent in terms of graph also, because we have to see the phase relationship. So if I take initial phase equals to 0, means initially there is no phase, no, like when we do with the screw gauge, error. So no error means it is starting from 0 position only. Then I can write the equation for the position xt, it is equals to a cos omega t. Similarly for Vt, you can write it as dx by dt, which I am getting minus omega a sin omega t. Sin omega t can be written as cos omega t plus 90 degree, means pi by 2. So phase difference here, if here this equation is also in terms of cos, this is also in terms of cos. So you can see phase difference is of 90 degree, pi by 2. And if I write the equation for acceleration dv by dt, I am getting minus omega square a cos omega t. Now this negative sign, if I have to include, then I can write it as equals to omega square into cos omega t plus pi. So 180 degree phase difference is there between the acceleration and the displacement. So this you can show it with the help of graph also as well. So if I have taken the displacement, maximum amplitude at extreme position A, for velocity the phase difference is 90 degree. So you have to draw these curves by considering the phase difference into your mind. For acceleration it is 180 degree. But of course the maximum values of the velocity, maximum value of the acceleration should be known to you. On the positive side, this we have already seen, the value is omega a, and here it is omega square a. So this way you should be able to do the graph plotting showing the phase difference when the displacement is 0, acceleration is also 0, because acceleration is equals to minus omega square x. But at that point the velocity is maximum. So this we have proved mathematically. You have to draw the graph for the same. So keep things up to this for today. Thank you everyone.